Has the European Union failed refugees under its care? Have their promises to help those fleeing war been kept? Part of that answer can be found on Greece's Lesbos island.
A refugee protest attempts to part a police blockade.
Police responded by firing tear gas into the crowds. The migrants are protesting living conditions.
These are the survivors who escaped a fire that destroyed the Moria refugee camp. Amnesty International says there are now 12,500 people without shelter. Once known as a vacation paradise, Lesbos has instead turned to hell on earth.
The refugee camp described as the worst on the planet. It's horrifically overcrowded.
Please help us, please. For God's sake, help the women.
Plagued by constant fighting. Disease and trauma.
And refugees are asking for help to get to other parts of Europe, but Greek authorities have closed the borders. It directly contradicts the European Union's common system, which states asylum is granted to people fleeing persecution or serious harm in their own country, and therefore in need of international protection. Asylum is a fundamental right. Granting it is an international obligation. But these images at Lesbos paint another picture. So how did we get here? The European Union has long touted itself as a supporter for those fleeing war and persecution. But that support and protection seems to come only when it's happening thousands of kilometers away from Europe's doorstep.
The European Union and its member states are delivering more than half of the total financial support to the Rohingya refugees.
The European Commission has shelled out tens of millions of dollars for the Rohingya and has called for their protection. And when Rohingya refugees were stranded at sea, the EU was calling for their rescue.
Rescued by the Bangladesh Coast Guard, the hundreds who survived.
Joseph Borrell, the EU's High Representative for Foreign Affairs, joined a call to help the Rohingya who were stranded at sea. That's in stark contrast to what happened near Greek waters.
Greece has forcibly expelled over 1,000 migrants in recent months. The report says they were sailed to the edge of the Greek territorial waters and then abandoned in inflatable life rafts.
A recent New York Times report shockingly revealed that Greece was abandoning refugees at sea. And since March, over 1,000 refugees have been dropped off on the edge of Greek territorial waters. Greece's actions clearly show that it and many EU countries don't have an interest in directly helping refugees. They'd rather someone else do it. Like the refugee deal signed with Turkey to keep Syrians from coming to Europe. Well, even in that case, the EU didn't keep its end of the bargain. Compare that to this.
Venezuelans that are fleeing their country and the host communities that are hosting them need our support urgently. Since 2016, we have provided European institutions and member states together more than 320 million euros.
Across the Atlantic in Venezuela, the EU has been one of the leading voices calling for funds and protection for those fleeing the political unrest engulfing the country. Perhaps the Union's interest stems from their support for the opposition.
Guaido got another boost when at least 19 European nations joined the US, Canada, and much of Latin America in recognizing him as interim president.
Now let's turn back to Greece, where officials there are accused of detaining refugees illegally and taking them to a secret location known as the Black Site. In interviews, the refugees say they were captured, stripped of their belongings, beaten, and expelled from Greece without being given a chance to claim asylum or speak to a lawyer. An illegal process known as refoulement, which directly conflicts with the values the EU was supposedly built on.
Together, we are the greatest political union in history, the most powerful economy. Together, we are creating a better world. We are the European Union, and together we are unstoppable.
Impressive. But here's a line I'd include in this great ad. Together, we've left thousands of war-torn refugees with no hope for a better future.